Boa tarde, bom dia, buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches, buongiorno, buonasera, konnichiwa, konbawa, good morning, good nothing, what else? Bom tudo pra você que tá aqui no YouTube. Eu me joguei numa fogueira completamente. Acabei de descobrir aqui um tal de StreamYard, que aí cancelou o meu problema em ter que usar o OBS e ter problema de processamento e tudo. Então eu estou chegando aqui no Instagram para dizer que a gente vai estar no meu canal do YouTube também. O link tá aí no... Como é que fala? Na bio, no meu perfil. Então, como eu disse antes, o Cleveland Inglês é um grande parceiro meu aí já há mais de 20 anos. Eu o conheci pessoalmente no Free Jazz Festival em 1997 em São Paulo, quando teve aí o show do Goldie, do Adam F, Nene Cherry, os DJs da Metalheads. Nem acredito que isso foi em 1997. E a primeira vez que eu ouvi falar do Cleveland foi em 1995, num CD mixado chamado The Promised Land. E aí foi esse CD, essa compilação mixada que eu tive acesso em 1995, que mexeu muito com o meu lado musical dentro do jungle, do drum and bass, porque era uma outra proposta do drum and bass. E o Cleveland foi o responsável pelos vocais nesse CD mixado. Então, eu vou tentar o meu melhor para o que ele falar, eu tentar colocar em português, pelo menos o tópico do que a gente falar, para também não ficar tão vago essa parada. So yeah, Clive,
Yes, Chief.
I just gave them a little intro.
Beautiful.
I told them that I'm gonna try my best to break down a bit Portuguese, a bit English.
Mm-hmm.
So I told them how I met you. No, with details. We can go through details about the door, and I see you one day in London, and know the rest of it. And let me just look through my script here, my notes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best thing is just give us a little bit about the little boy Watkiss back in the 60s. What was around you when you were 5, 10 years old? What you were breathing
Okay, well,
when you
that's
were
a
a youth?
that's a good and poignant question because I can remember back
Of
to that point,
course.
and I actually remember being in my cot and listening to the radio. So the radio was a big fixture for me as a tiny child. So
Yes.
I would be absorbing everything coming out of the radio, because the radio was left on during the day and night most of the time. So I would be absorbing all this stuff. So obviously you'd be listening to, during the daytime, you hear pop music, and then you might hear some classical music, you might hear some jazz. My dad was a jazz lover, so I heard some
Right.
jazz things at home. So at that particular time, I was hearing quite a variety of, the things like the Beatles and, pop music of the time,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then all kind of orchestral things like, that you might hear Bach or Beethoven or things like that that they
Wow.
might play
Already
later.
that
Yeah,
young.
I
Wow, that's
remember hearing
great.
all these kind of sounds as a child.
Now I
So
get it. Why you got involved in theater? I know the rest of it. We're gonna talk that later. Now I get it. So sorry. Carry on.
yeah, so the radio was a big played a big part in informing me. And I think as a child, you absorb what's around you.
Oh yeah.
We take on the energy. I mean, I know that's going to be a big fixture of what we're going to be getting into, the whole idea of energy.
Huge.
And the thing is that it all starts in the womb. This idea of the energy and how we start to perceive and build the building blocks that start to gather around
Oh my gosh.
your and frame all the carbon, if you like, everything that you're made of starts to get formed in the womb. So when you come out of the womb and you're into the world now, everything and anything is part of your world. It's you absorb it. So and I think that unbeknownst to parents sometimes, they don't realize that as children, we take on everything, we hear everything, we feel everything because it's all energy. We absorb everything, and all these things as children informs us as we become adults. So the
Yes.
radio, just to answer your question, the radio was the big
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
my thing as a
Yeah,
child.
let me just break it down for them.
Mhm.
A primeira pergunta que eu fiz pro Cleveland foi como é que foi o tempo do menino Cleveland, né? O que estava ao redor dele ali naquela época ali dos 5, 7 anos da vida dele. E ele adorou a pergunta porque ele disse que lembra de tudo que estava acontecendo ao redor dele, né? Então, o pai dele era um grande entusiasta do jazz, então o pai dele tocava muito jazz em casa, tinha muita influência de música clássica também, Bach, Beethoven e tudo isso. Ele já apontou a questão da energia, que é o que a gente vai abordar muito aqui nesse papo, que é a energia na questão da música. E ele deu aquela intro de que logo no útero, quando uma mãe está gerando seu filho, tudo aquilo que a mãe passa pela gestação, tudo aquilo que durante aqueles 9 meses ou 7 meses, e aí vai depender da gestação, a criança já absorve isso daí, né? Toda essa energia, toda a questão emocional que a mãe passou nessa gestação, o feto, esse ser que está sendo gerado, já pega toda essa influência. Não foi tudo que ele disse, mas basicamente foi por aí. So, Clive, it's huge because a lot of people, they don't really connect to this, but it's really true what you said about the whole emotional side of it when women, they are pregnant and the fetus go through to 100% of what the mothers feel and go through those 9 months, 7 months, no matter how long it is. So, and that is a quote from Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla said, I mean, a lot of people know who Nikola Tesla was, but I believe that a lot of people don't know. So Nikola Tesla was the Don Dada of electricity. The whole big up thing went to Thomas Edison, but if it wasn't Nikola Tesla, we know what would happen. So Nikola Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency and vibration. So, Mr. Watkiss, at the age of 5, 6, 7 years old, was already connected to energy, frequencies, and vibrations of the music. So, that being said, you can just talk for how long you want, but please tell us how, through energy, vibration, and energy of the music, you ended up leading to the music world, to the music industry, to the clubs, to the sound system, because I know you are a big reggae man. I know your parents come from Jamaica. You saw everything. You you that kind of person that you can say, I saw the day sound system was born. I saw how reggae was born. So yeah, run the rhythm, Reg.
Well, um, as you just mentioned, my parents being from the Caribbean, from Jamaica, and they landed in the UK in around the mid 50s. And around that time, there was a big influx of Caribbean um, citizens
Yes.
uh, that made the journey and made came to the UK and made the UK their home. So there was a strong community here, and as a child, I obviously absorbed that very much. So I saw the parties with my mom and dad. The domino sessions.
Oh
The
gosh.
dance. As people know, the Caribbean, we're very stylized people. We may have one suit, but we make that suit look crisp
Of
all the time.
course.
We may
Yes,
have
sir.
one shirt, but that shirt looks clean and crisp all the time. So that's a cultural thing. So I saw all this growing up, and so as a young teenager, my first venture into music that I felt that I was really passionate about was the whole sound system culture. So I'm talking early 70s. So I remember being at school and I couldn't wait until Friday comes so it was weekend so I could go and see the sound system, Fat Man, Shaka. I mean, Shaka's still going. Well, Fat Man is still going. These sound systems are still going, you know. So I couldn't wait to go out to the nightclub, because what was fascinating was everything was homemade. So the amplifiers were homemade, the speaker boxes were homemade. They
Wow.
got their cables. You had the sound guys that would come to the club, 3, 4, 5 hours earlier to put up the boxes, 18-inch bass bin speakers, you know. So I was just fascinated with that whole world, I was, the way that, and most importantly was the fact that they were using valve amplification, not
Yes, sir.
transistor. It was
Yes,
valve.
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
it was a whole different uh, vibration and energy right there. So I think that uh, going to these places and going to these clubs and seeing the whole sound system battles, two sound systems, remember it was one turntable, it was one Garrett deck. So it wasn't two turntables. There was none of that back then. It was just one turntable, uh, one big thick needle, dub plates, and but the sound was so magnificent that I could actually put my head inside the cone. In fact, I did this in one club one night. The sound, the tune was so, it had me so gripped. It gripped me so much that I actually put my head inside the 18-inch speaker cone. And I tell you, it was the best feeling I've ever had because it felt like, it was almost like I was going back into the womb.
Oh
If I can describe,
gosh.
if I could put that kind of analogy, it was like, it was just like the most beautiful place, and when I think about now, it's like most of the time when I go to clubs, I can't even walk past the speaker. My ears start to ring and hurt my ears, and it just made me realize how important the balance of frequencies are.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
these guys, they were scientists, man. A lot of them went to one particular guy who was a good friend of my dad, a guy named what's his name? What's his name? He used to build all the amplifiers. It's gonna kill me.
No
Metro,
pressure.
Metro. His name is
Metro.
Metro Sound. Metro. He made all the amplifiers for all the sound systems back in the 60s and 70s. One guy that did all the you know, just making everything. Well, he built them. He built the amplifiers. So, so yeah, that was the sound world that for me was. And again, you know, when we're talking about sound and frequency, the bass played such a heavy role in
The main one, I would
you know,
say.
and again, and the thing is, when you think about it, it's like everything is built from the bottom up.
Yeah.
You know, so when you start to look at a chord, even on the piano, it's like the chord is identified by the bass note.
Yeah.
You see, so and if that frequency is like a heartbeat, you know, it's like a pulse. It's like a driving pulse that that gets us in. It's hard to even describe it because I don't necessarily understand all the science of it. But I know that for most people that listen to reggae or any kind of dance music, it's usually the pulse of the bass that gives them an energy and a vibe.
As my brother Danny Breck says here, it's the pressure.
The pressure. There you go.
It's the pressure. Yes, breaks.
So, you know, the pressure that vibrates all of your inner being, you know, all
Yeah.
of the whole, you know, from your toes all the way through your head, you know, so you're feeling this pressure, this vibration right
Yeah.
through your body. So, and we hear it today, you know, we hear this music, what we call drum and bass. It's like the bass and the drum, the bottom end, you know, the pressure.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of pressure now because, you know, the frequencies are, the volumes are higher, the tempo is faster,
Yeah.
the bass lines are more extreme in a lot of cases as well. So,
Right. So let me break down. Otherwise, you're gonna kill me.
mm,
um, just one thing. I can only see half of your face. Can you? Oh, better now.
it's because I'm holding the phone and I keep moving it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
okay.
can't. You're not able to put
Uh,
your phone on a stand or something, no?
no, I can hold it like this.
All right. Okay. So let me just break down for them.
Yeah.
Um, então, eu perguntei para ele o que que foi depois daquele período dos 5, 7 anos ali, como é que ele entrou para o rumo da música. E, principalmente pelo fato dos pais dele serem jamaicanos, a influência foi muito forte, principalmente do reggae. E eu, como trabalho com ele há 20 anos, eu sei que ele é um baita homem do reggae e do jazz. Então ele disse que viu tudo aquilo nascer. Ele viu o reggae nascer, ele viu toda a questão das equipes de som nascer, o sound system. E o pai dele era amigo do Metro. O Metro foi o cara que construiu todos os amplificadores, alto-falantes, tudo das equipes de som na Inglaterra nos anos 70. E a grande diferença sonora era porque esses amplificadores eram construídos com as válvulas, ao invés dos transistores. Então, a questão dos amplificadores serem valvulados, o feeling era completamente diferente. A sonoridade era diferente. E ele disse que uma vez o som era tão envolvente que ele pegou e enfiou a cabeça numa caixa de som, no alto-falante de 18 polegadas, e ele falou que dava para perceber a vibe, que foi um dos melhores feelings da vida dele, que não doía o ouvido. Existia uma ciência que ele não, na época ele não tinha o conhecimento, mas existia uma ciência profunda no sistema de som das equipes de sons. O pessoal do sound system do reggae na Inglaterra. E havia uma frequência, uma imigração muito grande naquela época dos caribenhos, assim, muito dos jamaicanos, né? Mas tinha muita gente de Santa Lúcia, República Dominicana, enfim. Para quem é mais conhecido da história, sabe aí o que a Inglaterra fez no Caribe, né? Então, existia uma comunidade muito grande e foi a válvula de escape dessas pessoas, das comunidades caribenhas, os jamaicanos, se encontrarem no sound system, nas equipes de som. Então, foi uma coisa assim fantástica. Ele disse que depois o grande lance está ligado à batida do coração, né? O heartbeat, que é o fator principal de tudo isso, que é o bumbo e o bass que a gente tanto ama, que inclusive é isso na atualidade no drum and bass, que é a linha de baixo, aquilo batendo forte no peito e assim por diante. E aí agora eu vou perguntar para ele, depois do sound system, como é que foi a entrada dele na música. Então aí a gente vai agora atingir aí a época dele dos fim da adolescência, entrada aí da época adulta. All right, Cliff. This
Yeah.
is going to be a long one, but so that being said, about your childhood and teenager days, how did you went to the music as a performer? It was through Jacob Miller, like you told me before, when we were touring. It was when you were working at McDonald's, and then you heard songs in the key of life.
Yeah.
So how did you decide? I want to be a
Okay.
musician. I
So
want to be a singer.
okay. So then uh as I mentioned earlier, going to the sound system events, they also used to host talent competitions.
Ah,
So for singers. So when I was at home one day, one of my friends heard me singing on some B side of a 45, and he knew that we were going to the event that evening. Just to, they had the talent competition maybe an hour before or in the middle of the event. There was an hour of this talent competition, singing competition. So my friend said to me, "Oh man, you should enter the competition." So I looked at him and I was like, "Really?" Because up until this point, I guess, I wasn't necessarily thinking about it as a career per se. So anyway, so he said to me, he encouraged me. He said, "Oh man, you should enter the competition."
who
So I
was this
said,
guy?
"Really?" So I said, so anyway, so I did. So I went there and I sang and I won.
Oh gosh, he's serious.
So, and I was like 16, 15 or 16. And I was like, "Oh wow, this is, oh, maybe I should start thinking about taking the voice seriously." So it was from that point, from the age of 15, 16, that I started to think more about singing and just really learning more songs and singing along. So at that time, the singers that I was listening to were people like Jacob Miller, Dennis Brown, Delroy Wilson, Delroy Washington. I mean, just most of the lovers rock and roots, Jacob Miller, roots kind of singers that were coming out of Jamaica from the mid-70s. So that was my influence and catalog of tunes that I would be singing.
Right.
And that was really my sound world up until 18 or 19, when I started to listen to more different things like jazz. You know, really adding to my palette, because a lot of people might say, "Oh, but you left reggae," but I didn't leave reggae. I was adding to my palette.
Yeah, of
I was
course.
stretching out. I was looking at I was introduced, if you like, to other things, and I would, being the way I am, I would absorb all these things, and take them on board, and try to find a way of using them at some point as well. So everything became my sound world, and anything that I was around became my sound world. So I think what happened was, with the sound system, because I eventually had my own sound system, my own local sound system.
Are
Yeah,
you that?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. We had our own amplifiers, we had our own boxes, we had everything. The whole shebang. There was a whole army of us. There was probably about 15 guys in the sound. From school.
15.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
One
yeah,
five.
yeah,
15.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow, big sound system
yeah,
crew.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's
Damn.
a lot of guys from school. All my school friends. But then what happened was one day we were going to play because I was the selector. Yeah. I brought all the records, all the 45s and everything, and we had a record box the size of a coffin, full of 45s. All right, and
See.
I remember us doing this party one day, and I remember opening up my record box, and I saw axe, knife, dagger, spear. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what's going on? I was like, what's going on, bro?
I would love to see your
Right.
face.
So I was like, nah.
Wow,
I was like, nah.
Cliff.
This is, I'm not into this. I'm into music, but I'm not about to have no fight with nobody. You know what I did? I left my record box. I left everything. I said, me gone. I mean, seriously regret leaving all my records.
Of course, of course.
All these precious 45s, but I just had to get away because it was, we're talking like 74, 75, 76, and it was a bit rough in the UK around that time.
Right,
With the a lot of there was a lot of political upheaval in Jamaica, and a
right.
lot of the artists were coming to England. They were getting caught up in some crazy stuff in Jamaica, and they were finding escape in the UK.
In UK,
So
wow.
there was a lot of like real crazy stuff going on, with a lot of violence, a lot of people getting killed, and you know. So I just kind of stepped back from that, I didn't want to get involved in that,
Of course, man. Mad.
So and at that particular time, I was listening to other things. So I was listening to like soul and jazz and experimental music, and I just started to get more involved in that sound world, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, I always made sure that the bottom was the foundation.
Of
You know,
course. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah. So yeah, so the journey started to move more into the jazz and improvisation and looking at all this kind of American history of jazz music, which we have 100 years or more of this culture and history. But then there came a time where I started to make the link with the culture that I knew, with the reggae and dub culture, with the jazz. Because when I started to look at the timeline and the history and how, and I always say this because it's so important. Like when the slave ships left Africa, the first place they stopped was in the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now this is pre-recording era, so we don't know necessarily what that sound like. But there was a melting pot going on.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a sound. Then it got to New Orleans, and the music that they call jazz came about through Congo Square, New Orleans, and then the music started to spread around the Americas.
Yep.
But the thing is, it was the seed, if you like, was planted in the Caribbean. So it's no mistake or no kind of accident
Yep.
that this music that we hear today, whether it's hip hop, whether it's dub, whether it's jazz, whether it's ska, breakbeat, all these kind of things have their roots through the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people don't want to talk about that. It's a very touchy thing as well, because
I don't business because that's what we're here for.
yeah. So I like to talk about that because I think that there's always another side to the story.
Yeah.
Like we were saying.
Carry on. Let me just close the door here.
Mhm,
Carry on. Carry on.
mhm. So, um, so roots music and reggae and all the sounds coming from the Caribbean are so fundamental to the dance music that we hear today. It's so they're fundamentals. We talk about drum and bass, but reggae artists were talking about listen to the rhythm of the drum and the beats from the
Back in.
70s.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
so drum and bass is a genre predates what we talk about when we talk about the 90s. Of course, we're talking
Yeah.
about the development of breakbeat culture when we start to
Hmm.
look at dance music coming out of sampling, the electronic world. But in
Yeah.
terms of a sound and a rhythm, the drum and the bass has always been foundation to
Oh yeah.
to the
To
culture.
everything. To the
Yeah,
culture. Yeah.
yeah.
100%. Wow. So tell me something. How long you got? Because this
I've
thing
got
here, they go off in 1 hour.
they go
So
off an hour. Well, I got until they push us off.
I don't want to rush you, but we got so much to talk about. So if we needed to do another hour, are you able to do another hour,
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
you only free for an hour?
No, cool.
You cool? All
Yeah.
right. All right. So even me, that being on the road with you for 20 years now, I didn't know about that. Some of the things that you mentioned.
Mm.
So it's good. This thing here that we just created to talk about music is going to improve my musical knowledge and history, the history side of music. So
Mm.
good. So I'm just amazed to hear what you just said.
Wow.
And when we look to DJ culture as well,
Hmm.
I always get myself involved in huge battles because a lot of DJs, they just look to United States
Hmm.
side of it. And I
Hmm.
tell every DJ when we talk about this, listen, the DJ culture wasn't created in New York, wasn't created in United States. DJ culture was born in Jamaica.
That's right.
Sound system, MC, selector, toaster, so don't. And then they come with them people their history. And I'm like, no, you can't read that. You can't listen to that. So you see, right
Well,
here we have
most of the
someone that,
most of the the sort of pioneering hip hop artists, people like Busta Rhymes or who has Caribbean culture, Chuck D, people like that, they will tell you that the roots is right there in the Caribbean. Cool
yeah,
Herc, DJ Cool Herc, who came from Jamaica.
exactly, yeah,
So it's well documented, but I just think maybe people just don't do the research that they should do, to understand
exactly,
that, the foundations,
yeah,
and that's with anything, a lot of the foundations get lost, I mean,
yeah.
we saw that this week, when the drum and bass film came out, documentary came out, and
Oh,
there was
listen,
no mention of V
I
recording and people like that.
I didn't watch it yet, but I can hear the noise.
But yeah, so I mean, there's always when you're talking about the history of a sound that's 30, 40 years deep, you've got to have like you got to have different strands and different sections. You got to break it down. If we're talking about sound system culture, then you got to talk about the technicians. You got to talk about the dub plates. You got to
Oh
talk about the
yeah,
DJs. You got to talk about the toasters. You got to talk
especially
about
if you're gonna title your thing the movement,
yeah.
a movement, you really
So
have to dig in. But
so
We
So
know the
yeah,
agenda, bro.
it's a minefield, you know. If you know, again, if you're going to talk about the history of hip hop, man, you can't do that in an hour. You got to do
Yeah,
that in a series, maybe a series of 10, 15.
for
You know.
sure. Yeah,
So and you know, and get it, and it's important to get different angles, of course, you know, from different people, you know.
of course. Yeah,
You know, you got to speak to the you know, you got to speak to the people that were on the dance floor. You got to speak to the people that were behind the bar.
like a DJ
Yeah,
Flight said, you posted
yeah,
what she said.
hmm
That's what made all of us
yeah,
fall in love with the music, you know.
yeah.
So, but anyway, Cliff,
Mm.
it's about you today. So, bom, ele falou um monte de coisa aqui. Eu vou fazer o seguinte: quando esse stream terminar, em alguns dias eu edito, coloco as legendas e aí todo mundo vai poder entender bonitinho. Porque senão eu vou me perder e vou demorar muito para ficar fazendo o. E não vou fazer a tradução perfeita do jeito que ele está falando. Então eu vou focar aqui no inglês. Me perdoe quem não entende. Nem, eu entendo ele porque eu já ando com ele há mais de 20 anos, então para mim é melhor, mas eu vou focar na parada dele aqui. So, Clive, I just told them that I'm going to give up breaking down in Portuguese. Otherwise, I cannot focus. And you know me. Me can't deal with two things at the same time. So, I just want to rewind the tape a little bit, going back to the singing thing. So you won. It was like a battle, a sound clash, or no? It was just a
No, it wasn't a
competition.
battle. It was just a competition. So basically,
Right, right.
there was maybe I don't know, maybe 5 or 6. Well, no, maybe about 10 singers, and the one that wins gets the loudest cheer.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah,
That was the prize.
That was yeah. I think they gave us
It is great.
maybe £5 or something like that. We got a little prize money,
£5.
something like that,
Wow.
you know. But it was the one that got the biggest cheer, you know. Yeah, you know, whatever.
Right. And you got the biggest one.
I got wow.
What did you sing?
I sang. I can still remember the song, man.
Drop it.
It was
Drop it with the melody.
Time has gone by, has gone by, when we used to sit here and cry for
Woo.
hunger, oh, for hunger. Distress and hunger. So it was kind of a bluesy, kind of slow.
Who's this tune made by?
I can't even remember
Who's this? You don't remember?
I can't remember who the artist is, but I remember the tune.
But you remember the lyric.
I remember the tune. I remember the lyric.
Ratted.
I do. Yeah.
It was like a lover rock, or was a
lovers
reggae?
rock.
Like
Well, it was
a
like
lovers rock.
It was kind of a lovers rock, but it was quite melancholy. You know, it was kind of
right. Yeah, yeah.
Because they were talking about just poverty and you know, just hardship.
Yeah, the message.
As you know, Jamaica culture, we sing about you know, all kind of things, especially politics and you know, just what's going on in the culture. You know, it's all storytelling, as you know.
Yeah, and then you got the biggest cheer up. So you were the winner for the competition.
I won this competition.
And then you just when the McDonald's thing happened, it was long time later.
Okay, no, it was maybe let's see. So I was about 15 then. This happened about 3 years later when I left secondary school.
Yeah.
When I was 16, 17. And then I went to Waltham Forest College studying electronic engineering.
All right. Wow, I never knew that.
And I had a part-time job. So I had a job in one of the first McDonald's in the West End. And
so just rewind and come again. You worked on the first McDonald's in London.
It was the first McDonald's in the West End, yes.
The first one in the West
very
End.
first one.
So West End is like a Piccadilly
Yeah,
Circus,
so it
you
was
know, the
more.
central area in
Yeah,
London.
yeah, but it was the one. Oh, what's the area called? Uh, oh damn! It was. Forget the names now, man. It was right by Piccadilly. Do you remember where the Old Tower? No, not Old Tower Records. No, 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 that's not good. Leicester Square. It was
Yeah.
Haymarket. Haymarket.
Haymarket. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Haymarket. So it was the
Uh-huh.
first McDonald's on Haymarket.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I remember I was throwing some fries one day,
Fritando batata frita no McDonald's e aí?
and on the
I
radio,
love that.
came this tune, uh, as the Stevie Wonder song from the Songs in the Key of Life, as AS.
1976.
This is 1976, and I'm tossing fries. I'm listening to this tune. I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my God, what is this?" You know, because they played on the radio. They played the whole song. I don't know if you know that whole song. Herbie Hancock takes a solo on that song at the end. In the middle, yeah, towards the end, Herbie's playing the solo, and I remember hearing this. As around the sun, the earth knows she's revolving, and the rosebud know the bloom in early May. And I was like, "What is this?" And I got the name of the song after, and I went out and got the album
Straight away.
straight away.
After finish your
Straight away, I had
job.
to get it. I was
Oh
I
my
was like this,
days.
if I hear something and I loved it, I had to find out what it was and go and get it. So I remember going to the store, getting the record, and that particular issue, which was the first issue, had some tunes on there that were never on any other version. So that, yeah, they had
Oh.
some extra songs because there was an extra 45
Oh
in
wow.
in it was a triple album, I think it was. I think it was a triple album because they made the group. It was one of the first times I think they made the grooves bigger so that you get the quality.
Oh yeah, 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 of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think if I remember rightly, it was a triple album, and uh, and there was a 45 in there. They had a couple of songs that were never, you wouldn't hear them anywhere else unless you had this particular print, the first print. You know, so. Oh man! So this album became my Bible, man. This
Wow.
this album became my Bible. Studying every song, learning every lyric, learning all the instruments, learning about all these musicians because there's hundreds of musicians on this album.
Yeah.
Like great jazz musicians, singers, arrangers. Just musicians from all walks of life are on that
And
album.
let me
So
and let me tell you something. That album, sorry, I was born 2 days after Songs in the Key of Life was released.
wow,
Was on the 13th. I was born on the 15th, September the 15th, 1976.
wow.
So look, let me tell you something. I just got a message here saying you only have 1 minute. So let's just turn it off and then we come back.
We come back, okay?
Então, gente, ó, apareceu uma mensagem aqui que eu tenho só mais 1 minuto. Então eu vou finalizar esse stream e aí a gente vem com o próximo, porque o início, quase meia hora desse daqui foi eu tentando fazer o multi-stream com o YouTube, Facebook e tal, não deu certo, então nós demoramos muito para focar no papo, então eu desligo aqui e já volto. Yes, Cliff, soon come.
Valeu.
Até já. Valeu. So, September 1976, exactly two
Yeah.
days before I was born, you heard the songs of
Wow.
this. And what happened after that? You left your. You went out and got the record, and you told us about the record.
So
The
yeah,
specials. I need to listen to that. I need to listen to that.
Okay, so yeah, so I guess I was, from a musical point of view, I was just really my ears were open, you know, just wired. That album opens your ears really, really, really wide. You know, it really opens you up to so many different influences because there's so much. I mean, if, you know, you think about that record, it's, you know, you got kind of like you got Portuguese stuff on there. You've got
Yes, yes.
you know, Latin. You've got ballads. You've got
And it's a double
funk.
album, right? It's two pieces
Yeah,
vinyl. It's like
I
a
think it was two
two
pieces of
pieces.
vinyl. It was either
Yeah,
two or
yeah.
three. Maybe it was two.
Huge record.
But
Huge
huge
record.
record. And so, you know, I mean, I think that that was a turning point in terms of just opening me up to different styles of music as well. You know, that an album can
So
incorporate so
could you
many.
say that
Sorry,
could you say
just
that
open this window.
their album would you say that their album gave you a lot of flexibility? So their album was influential to a point where made you think, look, if I wanna sing, I have to do something like this. I have to be open-minded. Would you say that?
It, subconsciously, I think, yeah.
Right,
You know,
right.
I don't
How old you were at the
necessarily
time?
think I was 16, 17, 16 maybe? 16.
16, 17. Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. And then what happened after that?
So,
Because no longer later, you are in the studio recording with Stevie.
it was about 10 years later.
Was 10 years later, exactly 10
It
years
was around,
later,
round about 10 years,
1986.
yeah, something like that. 85, I think it was actually.
So can you resume from 1976 up to 1986 your music journey for those 10 years?
Okay, so I guess um, from songs in the key of life, I'm getting introduced to things like Earth, Wind and Fire,
Right,
uh, Jeff Lorber, more kind of
right,
funk kind of things.
right, right,
Because I'm working with a great friend of mine, Alan Weeks, guitarist,
right,
that I was in a band with. And at that
right,
particular time, I was studying guitar and piano,
right.
but mainly
Without
guitar.
any recording at that point, or did you record
No
something?
recording.
Or,
No, no,
no
no,
recording
no
at all.
recording. I
Cool,
was just,
cool. Yeah, yeah.
no, no, not,
I'm
not,
with you.
not,
Let's go. Let's
uh,
go. Let's go.
not in the 70s.
Right,
That didn't take place until the end of the 70s, maybe about 79, 78, 79, 80. So I'm
right.
learning piano and guitar, mainly guitar, and I'm learning all these songs by ear
Oh
because
wow.
my friend Alan, he wants somebody to play some rhythm guitar for him, so he can solo, so he can practice his soloing. You know, so I would
Oh
learn all these
wow,
songs.
Clive.
I would learn all these songs on the guitar, so that he could practice his soloing. But for me, it was a great training for my ear because I would listen to a song and try and figure out the chord progressions. You know,
Right, right.
so it was a great practice. I did this for a few years. You know, a good 3-4 years.
Oh, I never knew that.
So, uh, mm, so
And he's still studying the piano
I
at the same
guess
time.
I was still studying the piano at the same time, but I was going to evening classes.
Right,
So I was getting music theory lessons in the evening from a college in Covent Garden. I was studying
right.
at a place called the City Lit near. Did I ever take you to Food for Thought in Covent Garden?
Don't remember.
Did I ever take you to Food for Thought?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's near. It's not far from Covent Garden Tube Station, where I was studying evening classes. So I mean, okay, let's keep coming up. So we're talking about come the 80s now.
Mm-hmm.
Come round about 80, 81, the reggae artist Sugar Minott, he was based in London.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Sugar Minott?
No, never heard of him.
Okay, well, Sugar Minott was a popular reggae singer that came out of the Studio One, Jamaica Studio One era. And he had some hits in Jamaica. Then he had a big kind of pop hit with a song called Good Thing Going, which was a Michael Jackson song. And he done it in reggae. And it was a little hit in the UK, yeah?
Right.
Anyway, he was based here for some time, Sugar Minott, and I got to know him. He was based in a studio in East London called Easy Street Studios. And there was the band that I was working with at the time used to work with him and be his backing band, work in the studio with him, work on some songs. Anyway, I got invited to the studio and got to know Sugar Minott, and there began my very first tour. He asked me to come on tour with him in the UK. So that was the first time I'd ever been on tour doing background vocals. But listen who was in the band.
Damn.
Oh, listen who came to the studio. Horsemouth.
Oh, are you joking?
Horsemouth Wallace.
No way.
No. I never told you this story.
No, of course no. I had to come live on Instagram to listen to that kind of shit. What?
Listen. So this particular studio was like the studio where a lot of the Jamaican artists would come and record. So I got to meet Sugar Minott, Jackie Mittoo, Vin Gordon, all the reggae art, Dennis Brown, Leroy Smart, just all the artists that were around this time.
Right.
A lot of them came to the studio to record or to hang out. So
that studio was your hub, you would say, from. Oh gosh. Ayo. Uau. Eu acho que deu alguma coisa na conexão dele aí. Deixa eu tentar chamar ele de novo. I think something happened to Watkiss connection. Let me see. Yes, Clive, come back. Uh-oh. Agora tá eu perdido aqui, não sei. Deixa eu tentar aqui. Tcharam. Aí. Deixa eu aproveitar enquanto ele vai chegar aqui. Tati Aguiar, beijão. A Carvalhos, Pedro, Tiago, Kleber, Pati, Michele. Muita gente ligada aqui. Yes, Clive. What's going on with your connection? It's not mine.
I'm not sure.
When you were downstairs, you were a lot better.
But
anyway, let's focus. So that studio was like your main hub. It was the doors to the world, you would say.
Yeah, it was like an incubator. It was like it was a hub. You know, it was a meeting place.
Right.
It was a hub. It was where, as I said, a lot of the Jamaican artists that would come to London would congregate there. You know, as I said, I did my first tour with Sugar Minott back in 81, touring around the UK.
Right.
And the band had some incredible Jamaican musicians. Jackie Mitchell was on keyboards. Vin Gordon was on trombone. No, not Tan. Who's on trumpet? Can't remember who's on trumpet. Bammy Rose. But anyway, that was my first initiation of being out on the road. You know. So
What a piece of initiation. You must be mad. And how
oh, it
did
was
you
crazy
feel?
initiation, man. I mean,
Because we're talking about
well,
you at the age of 22 years old, 23,
something like that. 20,
something like
22,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
21, 22, yeah. Um, yeah, man.
And
It was
then
the
as an
best feeling in the
artist,
world.
when you had the chance to record your own material, your first single, your first 45 or whatever, when did you
Okay, well,
went in and
this
said,
happened.
look, now it's time to do something for myself?
That didn't really happen until around 89.
Oh, wow. 89.
That didn't really happen. I mean, all right, no, okay, no. Let's back up. During the time in the studio, I did do. Let me see. One, two. I did three lovers rock tunes.
Ah, come
Two of
on.
them came out.
Yeah, yeah.
I did one tune, and Horsemouth is playing drums on it as well on one of them.
How come you never told me that?
Wow,
I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
slap you when I see you. All right, so
So
be, before you went to albums and all of that, as a what did you did first? Did you do your stuff or you kept going on in tours with bands? Because one thing I wanna show people here, they don't know 1% about where you come from. So you played with The Who, you worked with Stevie Wonder in the Plants of City album, if I'm not wrong. Uh,
no, it was an album
you a
called
big dog in the jazz scene.
Characters.
Uh, be of your history, so you
I
can
can
go
hear some dogs having a
to the
fight.
energy side.
Okay, okay. Um, okay, so let's see. From around during, let's see, from around 82 to 89, 90, I was doing a lot of session background singing for various artists.
Right, right.
And I was doing a lot of jingles as well.
Ah,
So this was kind of how I was earning money as well, good money as well at this time.
no
So
working daytime anymore.
no,
All
no, I was
right.
just doing session work. Um, now, before, if we back up, if we go back to 80, the end of 82, 83, I got some work in the theater and I did my first tour abroad. So I
Right.
went to Germany for the first time in 83 and I was in a play, in a musical.
Wow, check that, man.
So,
83. Wow.
because I was studying drama as well.
Gee, boy.
I was going to evening classes and I was studying drama and singing with a good friend of mine named Ray Shell, American
Right. Mm-hmm.
artist based in the UK. So I was studying with him, and so yeah, I was just looking at the whole holistic thing. You know, I was into learning to play instruments, learning how to compose, learning how to act, and I was doing all this in my spare time. You know, in the evening most of the time. Yeah. So so as I say, 83. I was doing my drama class, and my teacher said to me, "They're having some auditions tomorrow. You should go for the experience. Just for the experience of doing drama auditions." I went and I got the part. I got this part in the play, and they were leaving.
When it meant
They
to
were going to
happen.
Germany like the next week, or they were going to Germany like the next week. So I ended up going, doing this tour, and again, I toured the whole of Germany in '83 in theaters, which was an amazing experience. And when I came
It
back
was
from
like a
that, I
musical thing.
knew that I really wanted to focus on, just becoming a better musician. Uh,
Right.
becoming more proficient on the piano, more guitar, more writing songs. So I got working with Carol Thompson, who's a lovers rock artist in the UK, who was making an album, and I was involved in writing with her on her first album, "Hopelessly in Love," and
Hopeless
I
in
wrote
love.
"Hopelessly in Love," "Hopelessly in
Hopelessly
Love."
in love. All right.
Yeah, Carol Thompson,
I'm gonna check them out. Carol Thompson.
fantastic singer. So
Right.
that was again just great experience writing songs with her, learning about studio stuff, learning about production and learning about again just developing and writing songs. Um,
Right.
I wrote my first song
And
working
then,
with her as well.
oh, your first song was with her.
My first
You
complete
wrote with
song
her.
I wrote for her.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. What year was that?
this is 80, 81.
Right. And then I want to jump a little bit and ask 5 questions in one. How did it happen to tour with the Who? Uh, how did it happen? Jazz Warriors, Project 23, and just bring and come.
Oh, so let's try and do it in some kind of order. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
I'm just concerned about the time.
okay, so so the Jazz Warriors came when I was working with a group of musicians, and we had a residency in a wine bar in Covent Garden.
Right.
We had a three-night residency,
Damn,
and we
three.
were learning all the jazz repertoire, like the standards, you know. And uh, and we had this for a good. I'm talking between 83 to 83 to 86, 83 to 86, something like that during those years. So we
Right.
we had a residency there in Covent Garden. There was 4 or 5 of us playing, and and uh, and we had this for a good. I'm talking between 83 to 83 to 86, 83 to 86, something like that during those years. So we,
Right.
we had a residency there in Covent Garden. There was 4 or 5 of us playing, and I remember one day I got a phone call from this guy named Courtney Pine, famous saxophone player in the UK, and he was telling me that he's putting together this orchestra of musicians, and would I be interested in coming to a rehearsal? And he said, he mentioned that it was there was about 20 or 22 young black musicians that he's put it together to put together for this big band. So I was confused because I didn't know any other black musicians that were playing jazz. This is probably about 84, 85. So I was a little confused. I think you're back now. Let me keep speaking. So, okay, so anyway, I eventually got down to the rehearsal. And I saw these guys. There's like, as you said, there's like 20, 22 guys. We had a meeting, a big band that started to play around London, started to make some noise on the London jazz scene. So I'm talking between 85, 86, all the way up through to the early 90s. The Jazz Warriors were a big fixture on the London jazz scene. Well, not just the London jazz scene, actually. It was because the Jazz Warriors played in so many different venues at the time that weren't necessarily jazz venues. So I guess that during that period is where I was really focused on, from sort of the mid 80s right the way through to the early 90s was really where I was really channeling my jazz singing and my jazz studying, and just getting my jazz chops together, if you like,
Right. Yeah.
and so come early 90s now, come like 92, 93, I remember hearing something on the radio, and it was a song, but it had these, well, there were
Beat.
breaks, but I didn't understand what was going on because they sounded really fast, but it had this sub bass in it, and I was thinking, what is this? And then I'll go out in the street and I'll be walking and I'll be hearing it coming out from the cars all along Clapton High Road there where I was living. I've been thinking, well, like, what is this? What is this sound? What is it? Then eventually I heard it was like this new sound called jungle music. It's like, oh,
Ah,
I was like, right, okay, this is interesting. Because I could hear a relationship to sound system culture because of the bass, obviously. But then the things on top, the drums, the breakbeats was like, how are they doing that? I was trying to figure out in my brain, like, how was that working? Anyway, I remember going to my first rave in Tottenham, in a place called, gosh, what was it called? It was called, the name escapes me. Anyway, there used to be
No
this
worries.
rave in Tottenham, big rave, and I remember going there, and I remember standing there, and I heard the Amen break for the first time. But the thing is, it was in every song. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I remember I just kept hearing the same sound in every tune, the same drum sound. And I was thinking to myself, what's going? Why is this same break, this same beat, this same sound playing in every song? And I was so fascinated, man. So, but the thing is, what got me was when I looked on the stage and I saw the MCs. I was like, oh my God, this is where they've taken sound system culture. It's like the penny dropped. Because obviously I
Right.
could relate it to sound system culture. Because that's where I'm coming out of.
Of course, yeah, yeah.
So straight away I'm thinking, oh, this is where they're taking that thing now. So then I and two other artists formed this band called Project 23. Prior to that, we were actually going to Speed because a friend of mine had told me that this club was opening up called Speed. I used to go to a couple of the clubs around the West End at the time, and there used to be this girl that used to host, I think it was a place called the Wag Club. She used to host one of the nights. Her name is Lady Caroline. And she had actually ended up working for Moving Shadow in their early days. Her name's Lady Caroline. And I remember seeing her. She used to host one of the clubs in the West End. I knew her quite well. And she said to me, oh, Cleveland, there's a new club starting, and you should come down and you should meet Goldie. There's Goldie, he's an artist and he's looking for a singer, and I think that you should meet him. He should meet you. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll come down. So anyway, I went down there. I think it was the first night of Speed, and first or second night, I can't remember. But it was one of the early first nights of this club. And I saw LTJ Bookham there, Conrad, I think Doc Scott was there, I think, well, obviously Fabio. But I heard this sound. I was like, what is this? This sounds like there's some sort of jazz kind of progressions going on, quite ambient. This is a whole other thing that I'm hearing. That's related to the jungle sound that I'm hearing, but it's another. It sounded like another branch, to the ear. Anyway,
This point there, sorry, it gets related to our topic. How come someone from such a rich music background, from classical music, jazz, reggae, how did you get caught up into electronic music, especially drum and bass? Because mid-90s, it was so unique, it was so different. How come? What did you, how, this energy, all right, let's talk about the energy. We only spoke about that in the first bit. What was the energy
I can tell you.
that got you in?
I can tell you. I can tell you.
Classical music, jazz, reggae, rock. You worked with The Who for like 3 years, touring with The Who, rock, reggae, and then you go to jungle and drum and bass, and Speed. Carry on. You should meet Goldie and.
Okay, so I went to this club. Now, what was it that was hooking me? Now, in Speed, the original Speed, they used to have a speaker that was on the bar. Yeah, and this speaker had the most incredible sound that reminded me of my sound system days.
Sound system days, yes.
Yeah, the way the speaker used to vibrate on the bar, I didn't want to move from the bar because it was so intoxicating, man. So I stood there and I used to listen, you know, I think, and then I hear these. So then I'm hearing like the 808 for the first time, like the way they detune it and for the bass. Oh my god! And the way it used to sound in the speaker. So
God,
talk about
I know that
vibrations,
feeling.
man. The whole of my body was vibrating, man. So then anyway, so Goldie was there this night. We were introduced. He said, "Oh man, you know, I got this song. Come to the studio tomorrow." You know, and he played me Adrift, because I'm thinking that I'm going there and I'm going to be hearing some jungle tune, but all I heard was keyboards, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm going, "Oh, this song is no beat. It's got no beats. This must be a jungle ballad."
Standard Cleveland.
You know, I'm thinking, "Oh, this must be." Because there's no beats. There's no beats, no beats. I'm waiting for the beat to come in, man. No beats, bro. If you Adrift,
Yeah.
right? On the classic Timeless album. So anyway, so I did my thing on there, and Goldie's album was released. He asked me to come on tour. He was putting together a band with Justina's, you know, myself, Adam Sorkelt on guitar, Rob Playford doing sampling, Tim on bass, and so around this time I was kind of, even though I was singing that song Adrift, which was the jungle ballad, I was still, because remember now I'm coming out of sound system culture, so I have the kind of MC kind of toasting flex, you know. Hey, look at that, you know. I know, I know this world very well, yeah.
Of course.
So, in the middle of the tour, Goldie said he's putting this club together. He's starting his own club, you know. So it's like great, you know. So the first night, you know, we was on tour. We came off the tour on the Saturday, and maybe on the Sunday we went down to the first night. You know, Goldie started this night a Blue Note Club, and the first night, what was really fascinating was Digo played, Bookham played. There was all different types of DJs played on the very, very first night, you know.
Right.
And it was great, you know. It's kind of like, oh wow, you know, there's a club where you can hear all the different things, you know, that all the different sounds that were developing in the mid-90s. So anyway, so what happened was, I said to Goldie, "Bro, I got my microphone in the car. Do you want me to go and get it?" And he said, "No. So, okay, no problem." 1 hour later, he come back. He said, "Go and get your mic."
Oh, let me come inside, man. The dogs are going crazy outside here. Hold on. Yeah, carry on.
I got my mic, plugged it in, and it was plugged in for about 3 years.
Oh, jeez.
So obviously, you know, as in the early days of the club, you know, there was not a lot of people coming, but as it went on, you know, as the weeks went on and the months went on, the club started to get more popular. You know, the Blue Note was establishing itself. It was all in Oxton Square, which was all fresh and new. A lot of young musicians and artists had their lofts and studios and working space in that area. So it became the home very quickly it became a place where you would hear Dillinger's new dub plates, Doc Scott's new dub plates, optical,
Randos,
random, you know, so you'd hear, so they go to Music
Cachet,
House and cut their shit on the Saturday,
the
Friday,
Leo
Saturday, and
Battles.
Sunday, you're hearing these fresh plates. So now the thing is, for me, I'm 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 the jazz musician, you know. I'm like I'm trying to figure out what how do I what do I do here, because I need to try and I want to hear the music myself. So I don't want to be
By the way,
talking.
I can't see your face again. What's happening? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to hear the
Yeah,
music
yeah, yeah.
myself, you know. So I'm trying to create the space so that the music can breathe. I don't want to be like, you know, I want to, yeah. So I'm trying to be selective about what I'm doing. But I was thinking Miles Davis, because Miles Davis is like a minimalist, you know. So I'm hearing these beats and I'm trying to find the right sound, 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 sound. Time to listen, sound, sound,
That's
sound.
way.
So I
Ah,
started to experiment with these vocal sounds, you know, to the point where people would ask me, "What effect unit are you using?" And I'll say, "This one here," because I started to do the whole delay thing. Delay, time to listen, sound, 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 sound,
that's a
sound, sound,
classic.
sound,
It's a
sound.
classic one from you, man.
Right? So that was my thing, you know. So I would try and create these this mood, this feeling, you know, this and try and complement the music, try and get out the way, you know,
Yeah,
just kind of be the just nudge it every now and then, you know. So that was the thing, man. You know, that was
yep,
you know, I was 3 years there. I was developed my own style there, you know, of hosting and emceeing.
yep.
But the thing is, being there those 3 years, man, was was incredible because I got to meet all the producers. I got to hear all the records, all the dub plates, and I got to meet all the DJs. So I met Groove Rider. When Groove Rider stepped in, man, and he played, uh, he obviously had the cuts from uh, Codename John. You know,
Yeah,
he used to roll with that alias, you know, or he still does, and and tunes like Silver Blade. Oh my God! When I heard Silver Blade, Dillinger's tune for the first time, seriously, I've never had goosebumps like that in my life, man. It was so
wow.
epic. It was so epic.
Hold that, hold that. I tell this to people, and a lot of people they laugh out of my face when I say I get goosebumps listen to certain tunes. Also, when I hear some tunes, I can float. I can. It's what is that, Cliff? You know, you're a big man. How old are you now? 61, 62. You
60.
know about music. 60. So you're 60 years old. You have grandkids, great grandkids. So
Well, what is
you
it?
can talk about music in another level. So please share with us music and its energy.
Okay,
Like let's go to the G spot.
okay. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So from a biological and physical point, and scientifically, we understand that we are all made from energy. We don't know where it comes from, and we don't even know where it goes. But this thing, this matter that makes all the different substances that we see in our seen and known universe,
Tell him.
is all made of this energy. Now, the difference between these glasses and these headphones is this is vibrating at a different frequency to this, but it's made of the same thing.
Come, Clive. Come, Clive. Come.
Yeah, it's made of the exact same substance, but this is vibrating at a different frequency to this. Yeah. And that's why this is headphones and these are glasses.
These are glasses, yeah.
Now, the thing is, when you understand that, and you understand that everything is made of the different vibrations, but the same substance, which is the energy, then you're able to understand that everything in our universe is about frequency, like Tesla said.
Yeah.
And energy. So we're able to understand our universe from the point of view of, well, anything that exists comes from your intent and your thought, because which leads me to believe that in order to get that thing, to make it a tangible physical element, it must exist somewhere else. So I understand it that it's coming from the unseen realm, a realm. There's another realm that we can't see with these physical eyes. We see them with our spiritual eyes. There's another pair of eyes that we can see spiritual things when we tune in. And when we want something to become physical, we have to go into the spiritual realm to get it. So we go into the spiritual realm and say, look, we need protection from the sun. What can we do? So we have to go into the spiritual realm to get it. When we go there and get some energy and matter, here comes the glasses. Here comes the headphone.
Bullet. Yes, sir.
Here comes the cap that you're wearing. The iPhone that I'm talking through, the computer, blah, 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 blah. So everything is created through the desire and the intent. So this is why we have to be careful about what we say and what we do, because we bring things into existence. Things can't. So when we look at this universe and this world, everything that's in it, we brought it here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do believe it the same. Yeah.
All the stuff that we're seeing, all the viruses, whatever, we bring that shit here.
Yeah.
We bring it. Somebody brought it into this universe.
Yeah. Through the vibrations and the frequencies.
Through
how we vibrate. Yeah,
exactly. So, totally. And then we call them negative and positive vibrations, And that's just the thing. It's like we get a feeling about something, Now, where is that feeling? We say, I have a gut feeling, It's in my gut. It's in my belly, But the thing is the belly is connected to this. The belly is the second brain. or I would
Oh,
like to
wood.
call it the first brain, because the everything is passing through the belly, through the gut.
Yeah,
So, you know,
big
if
time.
if food and water is our,
Yes, big love.
if fuel, yeah,
I see you.
yeah, I see him, big love.
This is a big music man from Sao
If
Paulo,
if
boy.
if if food and water is our fuel, would you put Pepsi Cola in your car to make it work?
Of course no, Rasta.
So
Of
then,
course no.
what kind of fuel do we need to work?
Right?
Would you put, tomato ketchup in your car to make it drive? It's not going anywhere, is it?
You mad?
Right. So then, what are we putting inside here to make it work to its optimum performance, to the optimal level? Because you want your car to work, yeah, Chris.
Oh yeah.
If you got a bike, you need it to work, Chris. So you gotta clean it, you gotta oil it, you gotta look after it. So if we want this and this to be at the optimum performance level,
Go on, rewind and come again. I didn't see it. This wall, I didn't see it.
I'm
Show
talking
me.
about this gut, this
The
brain.
God.
Now, they need to be fed.
Brethren,
Sorry, bro. Sorry, man.
I can hear you now.
Yeah. So the head.
Do you know what? As you know, every time we try and talk about something. So carry on, carry on, carry on,
Where was I?
carry on. You were talking about the here and down here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So the
Okay.
vibration, keep it going.
So yeah. So hold on. One sec. Sorry. Hold on a sec.
I just can't see your face most of
Hold
the
on.
video.
Okay. So here we go. So we were talking about the connection of this brain and this brain
And
in
this brain, yes.
the gut. Yeah. They're connected.
Yeah.
They're two brains, and they both need feeding.
Of course.
And we were using the analogy of the car.
Yeah.
Or the bike that needs certain oil for it to work to its optimum level. And
Also the proper fuel.
exactly, yeah,
That's the main thing.
yeah. So what happens when we don't get the right fuel? Is that we can't realize its full potential. We can't. It's not functioning at its optimum level and performance. And what is the food? What is
What
that?
is the food?
Yeah.
What is the food?
Yeah. What is that? What is it? Because that's quite controversial and different for many people. Some people feel that just
Yeah.
eating processed food all your life is going to you know is the fuel. But I question that. I started to question that quite early in my life. Just what kind of fuel work. So when I started to read and started to understand and started to study that, our ancestors ate more things that came out of the earth, not out of a can.
Of course
So
not.
once I started to, once I started to understand, that we need the right fuel in order to function in a certain way, I just started to try and uh, give my body the fuel, the right fuel. And it's not always. It's hard sometimes as well, because when you're touring, when you're moving around, you know, you can't always get what you want, you know, and we know this, you know, being on the road.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, you know, we have enough information and understanding, especially in these times now, you know, where we've got, you know, this whole coronavirus and it's how it's related to
Immune system.
your immune system and
Right.
how it affects your you know, those that are whose health is compromised more, you know, and so, you know, I think there is a focus now for everyone to be healthy as much as they can be, you know, more so than maybe ever now,
Yeah.
you know, so which is a great thing, you know, because I think that we can realize more of our potential if we're feeding ourselves the right things, you know.
Are you still on vegan, vegetarian, or
Well,
you
at the
had to
moment,
find a balance?
well,
Because
at the
remember
moment,
when we did the blood test, so I found out about me being A plus, and you found out about you being O.
no,
And for the
B,
B, yeah. Oh,
B,
B. Oh, yeah, it's
B.
true. So me being A plus
Mhm.
means on that diet, like vegetarian, you know,
Yeah,
and you like meat uh,
yeah,
based menu, I would
yeah.
say.
But we
So
had,
how?
but the bees had the most flexible diet according to the blood type diet. Like the bees
Yeah, so
had.
I'm the worst one.
Well, the thing is, as you saw, you know, I started to eat meat again. But the thing is, I had a revelation eating meat in Brazil because the meat there is a whole other world, a whole other world to eating meat here in the UK. It's a
Yeah,
whole other thing. Yeah.
I mean
So
both places is bad, but anyway, I see what you mean. Keep
yeah.
coming.
So so now, I mean, at the moment, I don't eat any dairy products. I don't eat any meat. I don't eat any fish.
Right.
You
So you
know,
just from the ground, from Mother Earth.
at the moment, it's just all plant based as much as I can. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
And
tell us again, how old are you now?
I'm 60.
Quantos anos você tem? How old? How old?
60.
No way, bro. You can't be 60. How? Look, you look good, man. Gatinho turreted. E aí, gatinho? Wow, Clive.
60 is the new 60.
60 is the new 60.
Yeah.
Yes, I. So, going back to the point
Hmm.
when you said we bring it in, we bringing things to our universe,
Yes.
our our environment.
Our realm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that explains a lot about why I can't stand to this environment, why I don't feel comfortable spending time with certain people. That explains a lot about why I like this club more, why I cannot go to that club, why I don't listen to this particular music, and why I love this music here so much. But this one here, I can't even listen to a chord. Can you touch that key a little bit?
Of course. I mean, again, e- everything is vibrating as on a frequency. We know this. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything has its frequency. But the thing is, there is also a universal frequency that connects us all,
Ah,
that connects us all
right,
as a species.
right. Come.
Ants. You see those little things that crawling on the ground? Ants.
Yeah, my friends. I
They have
love
a
ants.
they have a frequency.
Of course they do.
You see the butterflies out there now in the summer? They have a frequency. You see the animals, you see like the cats and the dogs, They have a frequency. You
Of
see
course
us as
they do.
human beings. You see us as human beings. We have a frequency, but you know what's happened with us?
We are out of tune.
We're totally out of tune.
My gosh, how come,
Totally,
Cleveland?
totally out of tune because we're not in tune with nature. We're not in tune with each other. We're not in
Yeah.
tune with how how we're supposed to function in the ecosystem. Because remember, everything's an ecosystem. You know, someone eats the ants. You know, someone eats the fishes. Someone eats the little bugs. There's an ecosystem going on in our universe all the time. And when we get out of sync with that ecosystem, that's when everything gets fucked up. That's why a policeman can put his foot on a black man's neck, like he did, like we see in this video going around,
Yeah,
all this
terrible.
information going around that happened to
An old
George
man.
George Floyd, young black man, bless his soul, right? That's why a policeman could put his foot on his neck for 9 minutes and don't feel no wake, because that man is totally out of fucking sync with the universe, with humanity. He's
Yeah.
totally, all four of them, because it wasn't just one guy, it was four policemen. They can do that because they're totally out of sync. They're totally out of fucking vibrating on the human fucking frequencies, you know, that makes us human, that shows, that gives us the ability to empathize, to be merciful, to be forgiving, to be humble, to be caring, to love. You can only do that to another human being when you're totally depleted of any kind of you're just a fucking monster, man. Only a monster would do that.
Maybe. Because even a monster, the monster will be in tune with his nature. So that's his nature. He will do to protect himself or to feed himself. So I think us as human beings, we're so out of tune right now that we do things bad to ourselves.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know, like you were saying, the fuel, what we put inside. You know, like all this processed food, as you know, is a big plan. The food industry with the governments, with the health system, this and that. So it's crazy, Cleveland. That's why, going back to our camp, energy, vibrations, and frequency. So through music, there's a lot we can do to kind of help and get ourselves back in track through music, because as you know, in music we can get colors, numbers,
Let
physics.
me let me let me say this. Be
Come.
suspicious. Be suspicious of anyone that doesn't like music.
And art and culture
Yeah.
in general.
Be
Come
very,
on.
very, 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 very suspicious of anyone
Goosebumps, bro.
that
Goosebumps.
doesn't like, especially music. And
Look at that.
you know most of the time that you'll find who those people are. A lot of these people that are in high positions, government
Babylon.
fucking positions. Yeah.
Babylon. Ah, you see that? You see that? Remember, we were on a phone call last Sunday for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've mentioned to you a quote.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the Bible, but it tells loads. Give it to me again.
Oh, uh, um,
Aos muitos foram dado, muito será cobrado. As much as is given,
as much as is given, much is required.
will select and come again.
As much that is given, much is required.
Which means the Babylon there,
go on.
They should be aware about that, because they love a power, but they don't know what to do with the power. So you carry on. I just want to learn and listen to it. Me not say nothing.
So, you know, it's clear that we're in a time and space now where human beings has had a little pause. Someone's hit the pause button. Mr. Virus, Mr. Coronavirus has hit the pause button. Yeah, hit the brakes. No more gigs. No more work. No more dance floor. No more jumping on the airplane.
I was just about to say.
No nothing. Pause. Hit the pause button. So here's a time for reflection, you know. Here's a time to breathe. Here's a time to go and look at some flowers and some trees, you know. Here's a time to look up in the fucking sky. Here's a time to go and look at the green grass. Here's a time to go and look at your children or your family or your friends. Here's the time, you know, pause, you know, to get back to the back. Get back to where you once belonged.
Oh.
You know, because if we don't, then it's clear that Mr. Virus will have his way and continue to do so. Yeah. So, you know, my thoughts and my condolences and my empathy has gone out to all my friends and family that have departed, you know, through this time. And remember, they're travelers, you know. They're on their next journey, and we're here. So what are we taking away, you know, from all this? You know, what are we taking away from all this sadness, you know, all this death and, you know, this transitional period? You know, what are we, because we can't come back to the same thing. We can't come back to this normal. Let's wait until it gets normal again.
I don't want one.
You know,
you keep that.
Because
I don't want to get back to normal.
The normal wasn't working.
Nah.
So here's an opportunity for us to reset. Here's an opportunity that's come around for us to reset. For us to reconnect. You know, the drive has been rebooted. So once it's fully rebooted, what are we going to do? What are we going to fill up the hard drive with this time?
Wow. Can't be more, bro. So that means
what are we going to put in on that hard drive? Yeah.
It's still talking about frequencies and vibration. And obviously, inspiration. As an artist like you have a quote there I love, and the first time I read that, it was a statement on your MySpace page. Check where I'm going back.
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Wow.
improvisation is the highest form of art. And
Oh, wow.
you come from that camp. And as an artist that knows really well how to improvise, like you do, and so many others, we know loads of them that is so connected. That's that's the key I want to touch here now.
Mm,
You know,
beautiful.
someone like you and some other people that we both know, like a mutual friends and mutual artists.
Mm.
You guys are connected to us. They're so powerful. And I tell you this every time. I get it. We say, I'm having this conversation, make this smooth transition. No devil will know. If you went out by myself, this beautiful peace comes over me. I know that I make sound, but fear, reasons, and feelings. I'm traveling once again. You guys don't know what you're saying. Look again. Look at that, bro. Look at
Well,
that.
the
Look
thing
at
is,
that.
Patife.
Listen, let me just finish. Let me just finish.
Mm.
As an artist, as a composer, as a musician, what is this that you guys are connected to? Is the Almighty? Is the power of the universe? Is something that is just flowing up here on your head? What's that? You know, as a rapper, as a composer, someone that paints, what's that? What's that frequency? What's the energy? What's the vibration? Victor's song Happy Book for me is your masterpiece. And I pray for all the gods, for universe, for people to listen to your album. Victor's Happy Songbook is the album where I took Torch of Freedom out
Mm.
of it.
Hmm.
You know, you see, you look at the Torch of Freedom. Just turn the key, open the door. Just turn the key, open the door. Right here is what you're looking for. Carry on. You
Been
don't even
sta
know. See,
been
you get
staring you
mute.
between the eye.
You get
Well, look,
offline.
look, Patife,
What's the
look. Okay,
source?
okay.
I couldn't
Look,
see because I was blind.
Patife, here's the thing, right?
I get crazy because I want to know where is the
Okay,
source.
we
I want to hear the thing.
we are look, we embody this, but a physical body. Yeah, this is the house that we have. Inside the house is all the operating mechanisms. Yeah, the eyes, so we can see; the nose, so we can smell; the teeth, the mouth, so we can speak, so we can hear, so we can eat; the ears, so that we can hear; the arms and the limbs, and the feet and the toes, so we have balance, and we have coordination, and we have the blood running through the veins. We have
Yeah,
the heartbeat. Yeah, right. Now, all these things, they don't just happen. It's not no accident. You're not an accident, bro.
right.
So now, so now, if that's the case, if it's by some kind of design, then we must be
Of course,
plugged into
no. Me know
something,
that.
right?
I
So,
want to
so,
know the
so then,
source.
yeah. So then we must be
Answer
plugged into something,
my question.
bro. The source. You are the source.
Mm.
The source is everything. The source is the universe. We are part of this whole gigantic universe,
Something?
which is expanding as we speak. and we're plugged into that. Now, if I'm trying to get something, if I need something, I have to go into that place, that unseen place, to get it.
Can't see your face.
I have to go into that unseen. I have to go into that unseen place to get it. So when I'm looking for that lyric, I go into that, or that sound. I go into that unseen place to get it. Bruv, I don't know what it's going to sound like. I don't know what I'm going to say. I just allow myself to be calm, to understand that it's going to come. And basically, I'm just a receptor. Yeah, I don't even own it on a certain level. I'm just the soundboard. You know, I'm just the string vibrating. I can't hear you. Where have you gone? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Of course not.
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah. So I don't know if you got all that. So I'm going into
the middle,
you're
man.
asking on a certain level, yeah, because
what? I'm here. Come on.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
it's all gone a little
Yeah,
out
I
of
got it.
sync.
All
Yeah, I think it's a little out of sync at the moment. But yeah, so we go into there's different realms, bro. This is one realm, and it's a struggle here, man. As we can see,
oh
you know, it's a struggle in this
gosh.
realm, you know. But the thing is, when we come out of this realm, there's no more struggle, bro. The struggle's over when we come out of this realm. So in essence, this realm is about your experiences.
So
You know, what experiences do you
could you
want to have?
say that the majority of people they seek outside?
They seek outside.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? We get informed by our environment, don't we? You know, we're informed by our associations. You know, the stuff that we grow up around, the
Yes,
stuff that
sir.
we hear. You know, the stuff that we engage in. You know, the people, the information that we take in. You know, all these things inform our being
Because
and
he's
our
here.
character. Yeah. You know, and
Big.
yeah, so when we look around the world and we see, you know, the suffering and the pain and the anguish and the desperation and the do you see that in the animal kingdom? Do you see the flowers going crazy because winter is coming? You know, what do we see? You know, when we look up in the sky, do we see the stars do we see the Star Wars going on up there? What do we see? the war is here within ourselves. It's the madness.
Of course, no.
You know, when we look at the ocean, do we see what we see an ecosystem, man, that's all in tune and in line with its natural self, forever cyclic. But look at us. We're frightened to live and we're frightened to die. That's the existence, man. We're frightened to live, we're scared to live, and we're scared to die. That's the human condition today. You know, and yet when I look in the garden, or when I walk in a park and I look at the flowers and I look at the trees, I look at nature, or I look at animals, I don't see this war. I don't see this madness and this war going on. So what is it all about?
Bro.
I mean, there's so much that we can learn by just observing
So
nature.
true.
There's so much that we can learn. And this is the thing. It's like we have this idea that we're more intelligent than animals and flowers. And,
No.
you know, we have this idea that we're more intelligent. Man, I'll tell you, there's a book called The Secret Life of Plants. You must read this book. The Secret Life of Plants. Stevie Wonder wrote a record. The book talks about how plants, the intelligence of plants. Deep book, man. Stevie Wonder wrote an album based on the book. The Secret Life of Plants.
Yes, yeah, I got it. I want to buy actually the book.
Get the book, man. The book is, oh man. Yeah. There's a song.
And guess what? I bet the record was a flop. Nobody gave a toss.
Total flop. Two copies sold. I brought both of them.
It was like, no one gave a shit about the album.
No. There's a song on there called The Secret Life of Plants. Listen to the lyrics. I can't conceive the nucleus of all begins inside a tiny seed. And what we see as insignificant provides the purest air we breathe.
2 copies. Wow.
We're all out of sync here. We're all out of sync. The Secret Life of Plants. I can't conceive the nucleus of all begins inside a tiny seed. And what we see as insignificant provides the purest air we breathe. But who am I to doubt or question the inevitable being? For we are but a few discoveries that lie inside the secret life of plants. For these are just a few discoveries that lie inside the secret life of plants. Stevie Wonder lyrics, man. Oh, he went in deep on that record, but Motown was like, "What the fuck is this, man? Come on, man." It was right after Songs in the Key of Life. It was the follow-up to the Songs in the Key of Life, and Motown was like, "Nah."
Inner Visions. Oh, Songs in the Key of Life.
No. Inner Visions is from the 70s, from the early 70s. So there's so much our ecosystem and our plant world and our animal kingdom. Animal kingdom can teach us so much, you know. that we take for granted
just by watching.
just by watching. And we take it all for granted. We just, we brush the fly away.
Yeah, man. What?
We chase the dog away, or we make fun of the
Oh,
cats.
check my beloved friend here, Fabiana. Fabiana is saying, Fabiana, Wheels of Life. It's a great book. I'm gonna look for it. Obrigado, Fabi. Mwah. Yes, Clive,
Beijão.
I think we have to book another session, man. And
Definitely, man. We'll take it up from.
We go live and just go live and just straight in, because your history is already online. So now we can just continue. This Sunday, I'm going with a very good friend of mine, Patricia Diogo. She's a sound healer. She does the crystal balls, like the Tibetan balls. So how she treats people, the vibration of the crystal balls. So this is gonna be a good one on Sunday.
Okay. From what time?
Make sure you from 5 p.m. on Sunday, 1 p.m. in Brazil, 5 p.m. in UK. Make sure you improve your Portuguese for that one. It's for Sunday, right?
Okay. Eu vim da Bahia cantar. Eu vim da Bahia contar toda coisa bonita que tem. Uma Bahia que é meu lugar, teu meu chão, teu meu sol, teu meu mar. Bahia pra viver, pra viver, como é que faz pra viver? Hoje gente quer mais mar pra ir mais de fome, que morrer porque Bahia, que mais do outro lado, Senhor do bom fim. Cadujo fará pra viver, caçar samba pra valer, alice alegria. No festa de Jeová, no canta de Jeová, eu noite de lua, lugar tudo mar. Eu vim da Bahia, mas o doce parar. Eu vim da Bahia, mas alguns dias, mais o doce parar. There you go.
Oh man, I get tears in my eyes every time you do that. Every time you do that. Our topic says loads because you don't understand the lyrics, but there's something there that reads you. It hits you right there. So
yeah, I did look at the translation, but yeah, I mean the thing is, because I spent quite a bit of time in Brazil with you, and around your mom and everyone. Again, vibrations, brother.
Vibrations, brother. Yes.
Vibrations, because there's a sound that I can hear, and I don't always have to understand what it is. I just need to feel it.
So at the end of the day, it's about feeling. You know the theory, you can study, but if you feel, what's the point?
It has to come through your body. You're the translator. It comes through. The vibration has to come through you. This is why we dance. Oh man, we're getting into another area here. This is why we dance. Because all the molecules in your body, they can't be still. They can't be.
We forgot about this. Come on. Yes.
All the molecules in your body, bro. When they feel that vibration, they can't be still. That's why we move.
And then shake what your mama gave you.
There you go.
Yes, Cleve, man.
All
right, brother. So, listen, I know Kelly's coming home any minute now, so I just want to say, I don't even have words to thank you enough for 20 plus years of good friendship, Sometimes you act like my dad. Sometimes you act like my guru.
Wow.
Sometimes you are my best friend. Sometimes we both act like kids in a kindergarten.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
So, I
The
love you
full,
from,
the whole dimension, man.
yeah, I love you from the bottom of my soul. It's not
Uh,
even from the bottom of my heart. So, thank you so
listen,
much, man. And,
coming right back at you, man. Right back to you, bro.
so,
Everything.
one of the biggest
Listen.
gifts music gave me is someone like you and so many others, I would say. And I'm going to bring them all here and we're going to go
Yeah.
deep.
Good.
And to everyone that was typing phrases here, everyone that was sending shouts, mas I was so connected to this brother here. So, todos que mandaram mensagem aí, muito obrigado.
Yeah.
Domingo
Thank you
tem
all. Thank you all for being
Obrigado.
here.
Yeah.
And
And
okay, Chief. Let's
próximo domingo, yeah. We catch up soon, bro.
Okay,
Take
man.
care.
You take
Much
care. Take
love.
care, man. Ciao, ciao.
Peace. Ai, 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 ai. Ai, ai, ai. Esse é o tipo de gente que colocou no meu caminho. Esse é um dos que a música me deu. E tem muitos outros que eu já fiz o contato e a gente vai... eu vou colocar aqui para vocês conhecer. Próximo domingo tem uma que é... Essa daí eu já começo logo a me emocionar e me borrar todo, porque a Paty participou do início de um período mágico da minha vida. E tanto a vida pessoal dela como a minha, a gente trilhou aí nos últimos 20 anos jornadas assim maravilhosas. E recentemente não recentemente, né, ela se formou em Reiki, pró em Reiki. E aí começou também com esses lances das tigelas de cristais de quartzo. Então vai ser alguém que vai falar com muita propriedade aí também, assim como Cleveland, muito da frequência do som, né? Do que essa terapia das tigelas de cristais de quartzo causa no nosso corpo. Então anota aí na sua agenda, próximo domingo, às 13 horas, horário de Brasília, e 5 da tarde aqui, horário em Portugal, Inglaterra, Irlanda, o tal do GMT Time. Um beijão a todos. Eu vi algumas pessoas aqui, Fabi, teclando aí com a gente direto da Austrália. Se é que ainda você está na Austrália, né? Porque você disse que ia voltar para o Brasil. Eu tenho aqui Track Beats Music, Big Up, Pulsar, Calabeira, é isso? Como é que fala? Pati, Mix, Miguel Mix. Um beijo, Mix, para você e para o Carlos. A Pati, Toshi Ohama. Esse é outro que vai estar aqui com a gente no dia... Qual é o dia, Toshi? Dia 4? Domingo a Pati, e aí na próxima quinta é o Toshi. Trabalha aí com os cristais radiônicos, faz um trabalho... Esse japa é doido. Vocês anotem aí na agenda também. Próxima quinta tem o Toshi. E aí eu vou ajustando o horário para ver se é melhor meio-dia no horário do Brasil, se é melhor 1 da tarde, se é melhor 2. Uma coisa eu sei que, para mim, aqui em Portugal, eu tenho que estar terminando esse stream às 18 horas, porque aí o tráfego da internet começa, e vocês viram, não consegui linkar o YouTube, o Facebook, o Twitch, mas a minha estrutura Interesting Constellation vai estar trabalhando aí para eu ter um Vodafone, uma internet separada só para fazer esses streams. Então, o meu agradecimento a todos que teclaram, e cola com a gente aí no próximo domingo, dia 30, com a Paty Diogo e as suas tigelas de cristais de quartzo. Olha. E aí na quinta o Toshi com os cristais radiônicos. E eu tô falando, eu tô vendendo peixe, eu já participei do trabalho deles. Eu sei o que causa no corpo, na mente, na alma. Então, eu tô querendo compartilhar com vocês coisas que a gente não encontra no jornal, a gente não encontra na internet com tanta facilidade. E também anota aí na agenda, dia 12 de junho, Dia dos Namorados, que é o dia que eu vou apresentar pela primeira vez músicas exclusivas que ninguém nunca ouviu do DJ Patife. Músicas que eu estou fazendo agora, que é um projeto que eu tirei da gaveta para me ajudar a sair da procrastinação musical, que é um projeto para me ajudar a vislumbrar a internet, a rede social de alguma maneira, que é para mexer com as minhas amarras, que é para mexer com a minha limitação. Então eu joguei esses vídeos aí semana passada, dizendo que vão ser 12 músicas no dia 12 de junho, que é Dia dos Namorados no Brasil, duas românticas, que é duas de um projeto de música romântica que eu tenho já há muitos anos, e eu escolhi o dia 12 de junho como a data para eu lançar esse material, esse álbum, e eu nunca lancei. Óbvio, o álbum não está pronto, mas eu estou aqui dando os tapas finais nessas duas lentas, e eu vou aproveitar fazer dois beat house, soulful house, broken beat em uns 4 dBs, exclusivo para você que segue o DJ Patife, que apoia o trabalho do DJ Patife há todos esses anos. E dentro do drum and bass, as pessoas adoram exclusividade, né? As pessoas adoram o tal do dubplate. Então, no dia 12 de junho, vocês vão ter aí o fresh. Nunca ninguém ouviu, nunca ninguém tocou. Eu vou vir aí live, online com essas músicas. E você vai poder fazer o download dessas músicas lá no meu Bandcamp, que eu acabei de abrir a conta semana passada. E aí vocês vão ver o processo de criação do DJ Patife. Eu não quero generalizar dizendo que é o processo que todos os DJs seguem. Não, é o processo de criação do DJ Patife. E aí você vai ver o cru no dia 12. Esse cru eu vou mandar para os músicos, para os compositores, para os meus parceiros, para os cantores, principalmente para as cantoras. Eu adoro mais as cantoras do que os cantores. E os cantores não me levam a mal nisso. Vocês já sabem, quem trabalha comigo sabe que eu tenho muito lance da voz feminina. Instrumentistas, musicistas femininas. Eu acho que eu tenho um lado mulher assim muito forte. Quem sabe um dia eu revele ele, né? E enganjado desse projeto, eu já estou escrevendo outro. Eu tenho dormido 2, 3 horas por dia. E isso tá acontecendo com vários. Falei com o Deep Leak ontem, o Deep tá na mesma pegada. Dormindo 2, 3 horas por dia, o Cleveland. Então a gente está num brainstorm, num download assim, power. E aí eu estou escrevendo um outro projeto, eu acho que vai acontecer aos sábados esse, que chama Papo de DJ, DJ Talk. O meu primeiro convidado, inclusive, é o DJ Iraí Campos. E depois do Iraí eu só vou querer DJ mulher. Porque não tem mulher, cara. Quer dizer, desculpa, tem mulher no mercado do DJ, mas ainda é um mercado muito machista. E não abre para a mulher como a mulher necessita estar. E nós só estamos aqui por causa das mulheres. Mas esse é outro papo. Então eu vou parar por aqui. Minha esposa já está ali brava comigo, porque ela está na linha de contenção com as crianças, para as crianças darem esse espaço para eu estar aqui falando com você. Mas aí quando eu arrumar essa internet, eu vou fazer lá do trailer, lá da minha cavernazinha, do meu mocó, e aí a gente vai profundo. Enquanto a internet nos permitir, eu vou trazer um conteúdo para você aqui. Muita gente não dá bola. Os mais próximos falam que eu viajo na maionese. Os meus familiares mais chegados, as pessoas do meu núcleo, pessoas que têm intimidade para apontar o dedo na minha cara e falar, mano, você tá viajando na maionese, acho que você tem que equilibrar. Mas enfim, eu vou trazer para você um conteúdo que não dá pra gente levar pra pista de dança. Eu vou trazer um conteúdo de pessoas para você aqui que você não vai encontrar com facilidade. Então, ó, o meu compromisso com você, a partir de hoje, com o meu primeiro grande convidado, e ele vai voltar, porque a gente viu os problemas técnicos aí na primeira meia hora, 40 minutos. Então, eu comecei com o Cleveland Watkiss, esse é o primeiro piloto. Domingo, Pati Diogo. E a série Papo de DJ, DJ Talk, com o Iraí Campos, que tinha que ser com ele. O start desse projeto, porque o Iraí é o primeiro DJ que eu comprei um disco de DJ. O Iraí, para mim, o Iraí Campos, para mim, é o maior visionário, o maior empreendedor dos DJs que eu conheço. E foi quem, nos anos 80, revolucionou o primeiro curso de DJ do Brasil. Um dos primeiros DJs a lançar. Ele não foi o primeiro a lançar DJ. A gente já teve DJ do Big Boy, do Rio, que inclusive morreu muito cedo. A gente teve o maestro mecânico do Grego. Mas o Iraí, para mim, para minha história, para minha carreira, o Iraí, ele é crucial. Então, o Papo de DJ vai estrear, acho que na primeira semana de junho, com o Iraí Campos, e depois eu quero só as minas aqui comigo. Só as minas. Minha gente, minha gratidão, meu amor, meu carinho para cada que tá sempre aqui apoiando, que vai nas minhas festas, nas festas de vários outros DJs, que compra meus CDs, que me segue já desde o finzinho dos anos 80, os tempos da arena, os tempos do rap, que eu ainda era lá do movimento hip hop, que foi a minha grande escola. Meu carinho, minha gratidão, meu amor sempre. Nos vemos domingo, 13 horas, horário de Brasília, e 5 da tarde, horário daqui de Portugal, Inglaterra, e o horário do Greenwich Mediterranean Time. Fiquem bem. Amanhã já é fim de semana, um bom final de semana, e a gente está aqui no domingo. Obrigado por quem esteve aqui até agora. Obrigado aí a presença do Bid, a Fabi lá da Austrália, Pati, Toshi, some Russian brothers, they were here. I saw the comments. My worldwide music lovers, one love. Meus irmãos brasileiros, minha família portuguesa, minha família mundial e universal, porque todos somos um. A gente ainda está meio fora do sync com o todo, mas haverá de chegar o dia em que a humanidade vai se sintonizar e esse mundo vai ser bem melhor. Beijo a todos. Namastê. Amém. Axé. Shalom. Saravá. Salam aleikum. Namastê.